Good evening. It's Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. Welcome to the Town of Carmel Town Board voting meeting. I call this meeting to order at this time, and I request that our town clerk, Ann Spofford, call the roll.
Councilman Baranowski.
Here.
Councilman Lombardi.
Here.
Councilwoman McDonough. Here. Councilman Channel.
Here.
Supervisor Kazari.
Here. So we begin with the pledge. If everyone would please rise, face the flag.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember all of the men and women who are fighting for our freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman McDonough. So, anyone in the audience that would like to get up and speak, 3 minutes? Please keep it to agenda items and state your name. Ms.?
I'm Erin from the town of Mayapack. I feel like I'm on American Idol with this microphone and no dais. So this is going to be referencing agenda item number 3, improvements to Sycamore Park. So today, my husband and I decided to take a walk over. We live directly across the street and play some tennis. Beautiful park, the improvements are great. Unfortunately, the tennis courts are not up to par. We spent a lot of money on that, and it's cracking. There is pooling of water. I know we went over budget when we did this last year or 2 years ago. It was somewhere in that range, 2 years, I think. And I know there was a $100,000 cash bond that Sport Tech was looking to have moved into an insurance bond. And even if we still have control of that bond, from what I understand, it isn't enough to have the issues fixed on the tennis court. What are we doing to rectify this when we are hiring people and they're doing subpar work? You know, we have a beautiful town, we're putting all these improvements in, and it's great to enjoy, but, you know, it's used a lot. How much longer is it going to hold up for if it's already doing this after 2 years? It's sad. You know, it's hard-earned money from taxpayers.
Thank you.
No comments back, no information? No
Well, I
nothing?
don't want to get into a back and forth and start a precedent.
Absolutely not. No, I'm just wondering
So-
about the bonds, or is there any way to legally go after this
So that's going to be
person?
fixed. We hold back 5% on all projects. So there is an agreement, they've signed off, they're going to fix it, redo it completely, and then after a year, I believe is what the agreement said, then they get half of their money back. They get half after completion of redoing the entire thing, the entire project, and then they're going to get all their money in a year if it holds up and doesn't look like it does now.
That's a great answer. Do we have a timeline on that? I'm just asking, not trying to.
I'm sure there's some type of timeline.
I'm not sure, probably because camps are starting, so we can find out from Jimmy.
Sure, email, whenever
Yeah.
you find out, but good to know. It was nice to enjoy the park. Nice weather's coming, and it's fantastic to have, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else? Okay, so moving along. Resolution number 1 is authorizing entry into agreement with the County of Putnam Special Patrol Officers. Councilman Lombardi, would you take that?
Sure. Resolved, the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the entry into an agreement with the County of Putnam for the provision of special patrol officers in the Town Hall facility. Said agreement commencing April 1, 2022, and expiring March 31st, 2023. In form as attached hereto and made part hereof, and be it further resolved, the Town Supervisor, Michael Kazari, is hereby authorized to sign said agreement, and be it further resolved, the Town Controller, Mary Ann Maxwell, is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget modifications required in connection with this authorization. I offer this authorization.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Channel. Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Channel.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes. Resolution passed. Resolution number 2 is a resolution making reappointment to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilman Shannell, please.
Whereas the term of Nicole Cedrin on the Environmental Conservation Board of the Town of Carmel expires on June 13th, 2022, and the Town Board wishes to reappoint her to a new term. Now therefore be it resolved that Nicole Cedrin is hereby reappointed to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for a 3-year term commencing 2 June 14th, 2022, and expiring on June 13th, 2025. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution passed. Resolution number 3 is resolution authorizing improvements at Sycamore Park. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, in connection with the proposed Girl Scout Silver Award project of Lucy Hernandez, Girl Scouts of America Troop 1114, Mahopac, hereby authorizing the performance of improvements at Sycamore Park in accordance with the memorandum and plans provided by Director of Recreation and Parks, James R. Gilchrist, as detailed in this memorandum to the Town Board dated May 6, 2022, and be it further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates for all vendors and contractors proposed to perform improvements in connection with this authorization in form in acceptance to Town Council, the aforesaid work may be commenced. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Lombardi and McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That resolution passed. Number 4, resolution approving application for tuition reimbursement, Carmel Police Department. Councilwoman McDonough, please.
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, in accordance with the terms of the current collective bargaining agreement with the Town of Carmel Police Benevolent Association, hereby approves the application for tuition reimbursement of Sergeant Sandy Kreco for receipt of Bachelor of Arts degree from the SUNY Empire State College. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Seconded by Councilman Baranowski. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution passed. Number 5. I'm out of order, hold on. 6.
Five.
Aye.
Five. I'm always number 5.
Yeah, I got 8 in the middle. I got it right here.
Five.
I got it. Resolution adopting Putnam County Fire and EMS Mutual Aid Plan. Councilman Baranowski, please.
Resolved that the Town of Carmel hereby elects to participate in the Putnam County Fire and EMS Mutual Aid Plan in form as on file in the Office of the Town
Give it go.
Supervisor, and will agree to recognize a call for assistance through the Putnam 911 Center, and will comply with the provisions of such plan as now in force and is amended from time to time, and certified by the Putnam County EMS Council through the Putnam Bureau of Emergency Services and Emergency Services Coordinators, and that no restrictions exist against outside service by such EMS agency provider named herein with meaning of Section 209 of the New York General Municipal Law, which would affect the power of such agency EMS provider to participate in such plan. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by McDonough and Lombardi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 5 passed. 6, a resolution authorizing, subject to permissive referendum, construction of drainage improvements throughout and in and for the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $200,000, and authorizing the issuance of a $200,000 in bonds of said town to pay costs thereof. Councilman Lombardi?
Sure. Whereas the capital project herein described has been determined to be a Type 2 action pursuant to the regulations of New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, promulgated pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, the implementation of which, as proposed, shall regulate such regulations provided will not result in any significant adverse environmental impact. And whereas Now it is desired to authorize such capital project and its financing. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Carmel, New York, as follows. Number one, the construction of drainage improvements throughout and in for the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, together with incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith, is hereby authorized at a maximum estimated cost of $200,000, subject to permissive referendum. Section 2, it is hereby determined that the plan for the financing thereof is for the issuance of $200,000 bonds of said town, hereby authorized to be issued, therefore pursuant to the provisions of local finance law. Section 3, it is determined that the period of probable usefulness of the aforesaid class of objects or purposes is 40 years, pursuant to subdivision 4 of paragraph A of section 11 of the local finance law. It is hereby determined that the maximum maturity of the bonds herein authorized will exceed 5 years. Section 4, the full faith and credit of said Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, are hereby irrevocably pledged for the payment of the principal of and interest of such bonds, as the same respectively become due and payable. I offer this resolution as pre-filed in clerk's office.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, resolution passed. Number 7, a resolution authorizing, subject to permissive referendum, the issuance of $750,000 bonds of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, to pay the cost of the road reconstruction and resurfacing throughout and in and for said town. Councilman Channel?
Whereas the capital project hereinafter described has been determined to be a Type 2 action pursuant to the regulations of New York State Department of Environmental Conservation promulgated pursuant to the Environmental Quality Review Act, the implementation of which is proposed, such regulations provided will not result in any significant adverse environmental impact, and where it is now desired to authorize such capital project and the financing thereof, now therefore be it resolved by the affirmative vote of not less than 2/3 of the total voting strength of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, as follows. Section 1, road reconstruction and resurfacing throughout and for the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, including drainage, sidewalks, curbs, gutters, landscaping, grading, and improving right-of-ways, as well as other incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith, is hereby authorized at a maximum estimated cost of $750,000, subject to permissive referendum. Section 2, it is hereby determined that the plan for the financing thereof is by the insurance of $750,000 bonds of said town, hereby authorized to be issued, therefore, pursuant to the provisions of local finance law. Section 3, it is hereby determined that the period of probable usefulness of the aforesaid class of objects or purposes is 15 years, pursuant to subdivision 20C of paragraph A of section 11 of the local finance law. It is hereby further determined that the maximum maturity of the bonds herein authorized will exceed 5 years. Section 4, the faith of credit of said Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, are hereby irrevocably pledged for the payment of the principal and of the interest on such bonds as the same respectively become due and payable. I offer this resolution as pre-filed with the clerk's office.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, resolution passed. Number 8, resolution authorizing payment for software licensing agreement and services, whereas the town board has previously authorized the entry into software licensing agreements utilized by the Town of Carmel Building Department with Software Consulting Associates, Red Hook, New York, for use for Munici software applications, and whereas the town board has been advised that the rights of the Munici software have been acquired by ICC Community Development Solutions, Rochester, New York. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby acknowledges the acquisition by ICC Community Development Solutions as referenced herein and authorizes all future payments due under the terms of any licensing agreement formerly with Software Consulting Associates to be made to ICC Community Development Solutions effective immediately. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by McDonough and Lombardi. That's a roll call vote.
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Chano?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, resolution passed. So before we go to executive session for personnel, I want to mention that we are having our partnership with the town of Kent for e-waste pickup. That's going to be on Saturday, June 11th at the Kent Town Hall, which is 25 Sybil's Crossing. It's open to all town of Carmel residents and, of course, town of Kent. Carmel residents, that's Carmel Hamlet, Mahopac, Mahopac Falls. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and it's for e-waste. There's a flyer on our website. And most of us were at the Memorial Day services. We went to the ones up in Carmel at the VFW 1374, and we went to the Memorial Day Parade through Mahopac, and it was, I thought, well-attended. It was good to see people out, and it was great weather. So thank you, everyone that attended. Councilman Lombardi?
And this coming Saturday, the Mahopac Carmel Chamber of Commerce is hosting its annual street fair in the hamlet of Carmel on Route 52 from Fair Street to Vink Drive from 12 to 4. There's so far over 40 vendors have pledged to be there. Multiple food trucks are going to be there as well, so the weather looks promising. So I hope everybody makes it out there and shows their support. It should be a great day.
Also, I would just like to mention that this Saturday will be Relay for Life at Mahopac High School, starting at 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And I hope everyone will try and make it there. It's a great event. Supports all the people who had suffered from cancer and who are still suffering and who have since passed.
Just one item. Next week, Tuesday, June 7, is the annual library vote at the Mahopac Public Library. And this is a big year for the library. It's the trustee election, the annual operating budget, as well as a bond referendum to provide for some necessary repairs for the library building. As a trustee of the library, I am not allowed to advocate on behalf of the library for folks to vote for any of those things. I can just encourage people to get out and vote. So again, if you're a member of the Mahopac School District, please get out and vote next week. Again, that's Tuesday, June 7. That's at the library, and that's from 7 in the morning till 9 p.m. in the evening.
Thank you. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
So, motion to go into executive session.
Can I get a motion to go into executive session and adjourn from there?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone.